Hello, hello. I think my computer's running a little slow right now because I just have that feeling everything's running slow on my computer. It gets busy sometimes. Anyway, it's 11:40. I want to try to finish up my little reading assignments that I'm doing every day, and I want to read from the Writer's Almanac. And this is for Saturday, January the 28th, 2012. It's the birthday of Sue Hubble. Born in Kalamazoo, Michigan in 1935, she said, quote, "No one expected much from little girls growing up in the 1930s in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Mine was a family of high aspirers, but they gave up on me. I was left pretty much alone. I look at today's youngsters with their enrichment programs and their after-school lessons and activities, busy building up resumes so they can get into Harvard, and realize I was given a wonderful gift. A happy childhood of my own making. I climbed trees and I sat in the tops of them for long, long periods of time. I made exquisite little villages under an old pin-up tree by the edge of the lake. I read a lot in a random sort of way. I wondered a lot of things that I was most interested in, but they seldom were on teachers' agendas, so I asked a lot of questions. Asking questions wasn't good preparation for any respectable career." Unquote. She became a journalist, a bookstore manager, and a librarian at Brown University, where her husband Paul taught. But they weren't satisfied with their lives, and they quit their jobs and bought 99 acres in the Ozarks in southern Missouri and took up beekeeping. After 30 years of marriage, the couple divorced, and she found herself alone, middle-aged, living on a big farm producing honey. She started to write down her own story. She said, quote, "I was writing for myself, and what I put on paper over the next couple of years was unlike anything I had written before. I traced the natural history of my hilltop from one springtime to the next, discovering by the second spring that I was in a new place and understanding the value of where I was." Unquote. That book was a county year. That book was a country year. Living Without Questions, published in 1986. Her other books included A Book of Bees, 1998, Waiting for Aphrodite, 1999, and From Here to There and Back Again in 2004. It's the birthday of Rick Warren. Born in Redwood Valley, California in 1954, he's the author of The Purpose-Driven Life. What on Earth Am I Here For? Published in 2002, which has sold more than 30 million copies, of which my father-in-law gave me a copy just to let you know when he saw that I was living a desultory life. Warren grew up the son of a Baptist minister, went to Baptist seminary, and decided to start his own church from scratch. He did some research to determine which state had the fewest churches per capita, and that turned out it was California. He also learned that Saddleback County in California was one of the fastest growing counties in America at the time. So he and his wife and baby daughter moved there, and he went door to door asking people if they went to church, and if not, what kind of church would they like. He decided that what people wanted was a casual church. He started in a school gymnasium with 200 people present. He preached in a Hawaiian shirt, incorporated contemporary rock music into the services, and gave practical advice in his sermons. And over the next 15 years, his church kept growing to more than 20,000 members. It's more than that now. It's the birthday of comic novelist David Lodge, born in suburban London in 1935 to a traditional Catholic family. His early novel, The Picturegoers, 1960, is about a Catholic family in South London who take in a university student as a lodger. Other early novels draw on the Lodge's own life. Ginger. Sorry, I read that just so wrong. I gotta do that again. Other early novels draw on Lodge's own life. Ginger, You're Barmy, written in 1962 about compulsory service in the British military, and The British Museum is Falling Down in 1970 about a Catholic graduate student working on his thesis. It's the birthday of novelist Colette, born in Sidonie Gabrielle Colette. I'm just suffering here, but I promised myself to not do a second take on any of this stuff. All right. It's the birthday of novelist Colette, born Sidonie Gabrielle Colette in a village in France in 1873. She's the author of more than 50 novels, including Gigi, which was made in 1944, published in 1944, which was made into a movie. She died in 1954 at 81 years old, the first woman in the history of France to be given a state funeral. 6,000 people filed by her casket covered in flowers. Colette said, quote, "Sit down and put down everything that comes into your head, and then you're a writer. But an author is one who can judge his own stuff's worth without pity and destroy most of it." Unquote. Here's a poem by the author David Budbill. It's called "Winter is the Best Time." Winter is the best time to find out who you are. Quiet contemplation time, away from the rushing world. Cold time, dark time, hold up, pulled in time. And space to see that inner landscape, that place hidden and within. The poem "Winter is the Best Time" by David Budbill, from his collection While We've Still Got Feet, published by Copper Canyon Press in 2005, reprinted with permission for the Writer's Almanac. Production credits include the host, Garrison Keeler, writers are Betsy Allister, Priscilla Kinter, Heather McPherson, and Holly Vanderhaar. Technical director was Thomas Schweisker. The engineer, Noah Smith. Coordinator, Nick Vetter. And permissions given by Kathy, ordained by Kathy Roach. As Garrison Keeler always says, be well, do good work, and keep in touch.